everyone. I am so excited for you to meet my friend Caitlin. Caitlin and I met a while back, actually in person, which is awesome because not all of my Becoming Story gals I've met in person yet, but I've had the privilege of meeting Caitlin. And what I love about her is literally, A, I'm inspired by her online, but B, I've seen her in real life and she's the real deal. So all the encouragement that I see her pouring out, it's just who she is in person. So I can't wait for you guys to meet her, hear her story. And Caitlin, welcome. And let's just kick it off. Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. So let's kick it off with, who is Caitlin?
Okay, who's Caitlin? I'm a wife to my crazy, awesome husband, Cole. Mom to 4. We call it the Zick Zoo. My name's Zick. So.
You have a hashtag and everything. I love it.
But the fun fact, I guess, it's kind of embarrassing because people think I'm a weirdo, but all our names are with C's. So we have Cole, Caitlin, Caleb, Connor, Cade, and Chloe Rose. So yeah, that's our fam. We're in full-time ministry. We got back from our honeymoon and started being pastors day one. So we've been at the same church here in Sacramento, California, in youth ministry, young adults. We used to run Master's Commission for 10 years. Yeah, we just celebrated our 10-year anniversary here.
Wow.
Exciting. Florida girl like you.
Yeah, girl.
Moved out to Cali, which is very comparable. So it's awesome. We love Sacramento, love coffee. I'm obsessed with coffee.
We're soul sisters.
Yeah, and here's the thing though, you have to come to Sacramento because it is one of the best, it's like one of the top cities in the country for coffee.
Okay, I'm hopping on a plane as soon as we finish recording your Becoming Story, for sure.
Yeah, there's like a million coffee shops here that are awesome. So anyways, that's a little bit about me.
I love it. So you guys have been married for 10 years or longer?
We just celebrated our 10 years in August. Yep.
Oh my goodness. That is so cool. I love it. I love following the Zick Zoo. It's so cool. So cool. Well, hey, I've had the privilege of getting to know you and your story over the past couple years since we met. And I'd love for you to just take some time and unpack your story and your journey. What has made you who you are today?
I always go back, probably because I've been working with youth for this many years. I always started back when I was like 16. I was the girl that I feel like was living the dream that, the world would tell you is right to live and seek after. I had the popularity, the cool boyfriend, the parties and all of that, athletics. And I wasn't, a lot of stories end with, at the end of the night, I was like alone and sad, but I really wasn't. I just thought this is all life has to offer and I've got it all. Like, I just thought I had it made and everything was amazing. I was at a friend's house and the mom was like a believer and just dragged us all to youth group. She's like, if you're here right now, you're going to youth group. And I was like, oh gosh, how do I get out of this? Because I didn't know, my preconceived notions of what youth group were. It was like a small room of 10 people sitting around. And so it was the first time that I heard Jesus wanted a relationship with me and that God had a plan for my life. I'd been raised in Catholic church and Catholic school, but never opened a Bible myself or heard any of those things. And so the message totally intrigued my mind, and I would say the hope captured my soul. And so then I was invited to a summer camp with a Christian cousin, and, I think I was intrigued enough to go, and I just had a holy moment. And I mean, a lot of us have had those where it's just, the theme of the camp was never look back, never go back, no way. And that was totally my life story after that. It was one of the last nights, and the speaker was kind of operating in like prophetic words of knowledge. And I could just tell it was real. I didn't know it was happening, but I was like, whatever is going on right now is so real. Like, God is real. And so there was about 800 students there, and I was just in the crowd and just kind of prayed under my breath, God, if you're real and you want me to give up, my boyfriend, my friends, my popularity, like my life to you, then have that man call me up there. And by the time I finished that like silly, prayer in my head, he said the girl in the black V-neck shirt and called me on stage, and God spoke through him to exactly where I was at, and just talked about the power that was in me. And so that's just what I've been pursuing every day since, is just the full power of God and just running after him with everything I have.
Wow. That's incredible. Does that part of your story influence and impact how you're even pouring into youths today?
Totally. Yeah, totally.
I can definitely see that. And tell us a little bit about Sisterhood Campaign too. I mean, I love what you're doing.
I had so many dreams, and that's part of what I would want to encourage anybody with, is just create what you wish existed. And that's what it is as girls, there's so much negative messaging about who we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to live, what we're supposed to do. And so it's just getting out there and doing the opposite and saying, no, like we need to speak the truth to these girls. And so Sisterhood Campaign was really actually a dream of mine that God just woke me up with. Like it wasn't something, the school assembly factor, I just never thought it was a reality. So what Sisterhood Campaign does is go into a school and does an all-girls school assembly. And I thought, like, how would the school do that? What would they do with the boys, you know? But we've been planted in 2 schools now already. And we did a full school assembly. Our first one was 7th and 8th grade girls. There was, let's see, what was the number? I already forget, but I want to say it was like 340 girls in the school. And we did the school assembly. It was super powerful. Heard stories right afterwards from parents, just crazy stories. I could go on and on. But then we said, okay, we're going to do signups for 6-week mentoring. And the school was thinking we'd have a, classroom of 25. We had 250 girls sign up for the mentoring.
Wow.
So we did 6 weeks of mentoring with these 25 girls. We did this huge all-out celebration party afterwards with free dinner and tribe talent show. It was amazing. It's a dream. So we love it, and we're hoping, the dream would be to be able to have every school. You want every girl to be able to have that experience and have really to end girl on girl, negativity and crime and be sisters, learn what that looks like and means. So yeah, it's super exciting.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love following it, for real. And I love what you shared at the beginning of what led you into Sisterhood Campaign. And to piggyback off of that, if you were sitting and having coffee with another woman at your favorite coffee shop in Sacramento, and she's on her own becoming journey, what would you say to encourage her?
I would start with this, is becoming, I love your word of becoming, and becoming you looks like you without a side of comparison.
Oh,
because we always it's always feel like you have to keep up. Even when you're in ministry and doing, the God's work, you're like, oh, but look how she's doing it, or look what they're doing. But it's like, no, what has God called me to do that nobody else can do? And so really, my encouragement to every woman would be, find out what that is and don't settle for less, or don't think you're crazy. I had so many moments. For me, I feel like I've been called to be like a pioneer, a bridge builder, a people gatherer. And those are all things that don't happen all the time. And I didn't have anybody directly in front of me to watch. And I think that a lot more women are probably called to do those things, create the things you wish existed. But it's really hard. It's very challenging to do that when you don't have somebody to follow and watch. Yeah. It's really dependent on faith. That's what it is. It's doing the things you can't see. And I heard this story once from a woman I do admire and was a pioneer, but I had met her for years. And she said for her, it was like, you're climbing a hill, you're treading, you're going up. And once you reach that horizon of realizing, wow, there's other women up here, it's like so refreshing. Or just that feeling of it's worth it. Because even for me on my hardest day of saying like, I don't want to go speak to women, or I don't want to speak at this event, it's like, I'm going to speak so that there's a female voice. Like I'm going to do it even when it's hard. And so whatever your calling and your becoming is doing it when it's hard. One of my favorite things is be who you needed when you were younger. I feel like that's a motivation for anybody who still doesn't know, like, oh, what is my passion calling? Like, it's very biblical to go back and say, in 1 Corinthians, it says to comfort others with the same comfort you received from God. And so what is that you needed, and be that to who you be that to the younger generation below you. But the other thing I wanted to share, I took notes.
I love it, girl. I love it.
Because, this is what it was, is you can do hard things. Like you can, and finding community to do it with, because better together. That's one of my favorite concepts.
Oh yeah.
It's harder. Like, I feel like the truth is it's harder together, but it's better.
Yes, you're right.
It's hard to share. Let's talk about when we're 5 and 6, like we don't want to share our toys. Like it's hard to share your dreams. It's hard to share maybe your accolades. It's hard to share. It's hard to say, oh, I want to do it this way, but you want to do that way. So I'll go with this for this time. But we're always better together and finding community. And the other thing I would encourage every woman with, sorry, I could talk to it.
Oh, I love this. Keep it coming, girl. Keep it coming.
I'm obsessed with the word, and I feel like we've lost our love for the word sometimes because for me, if I go back to when I was 16 and at a Catholic school, like I opened one for the first time, I was like, this is really good. Why does nobody talk about this? But it's finding the version maybe that is like, you get, it's easy to read, you get it. but I carry around my little like message pocket book. It's like New Testament, and it just goes with me everywhere. And the word is alive and active. And as a woman, you want to be a woman of the word. It's going to sustain you. It's going to give you the faith to do the hard things and to become who you are called to be. But as far as the finding community and cultivating community, that's the thing. I think a lot of women, females, girls, whatever age we are, we're alone. The enemy wants us isolated. Like he wants us to think we are alone. We can't do it. Nobody, understands. But so a lot of times I think as a pioneer, you might have to be the one to create the community, create the friend group. Sometimes people will look at me and my friend group and they'll ask us like how, and it's hard, like, or it's scheduling, it's figuring it out. It's having the hard conversations and healthy confrontation. But one of my favorite verses, it's when it's just talking about the body. It says, for no matter how significant you are, it's only because of what you're a part of. And I love that, because no matter who you're becoming, the big thing is we don't want selfish ambition to be our aim. We don't want, that's everything the world tells, climb the ladder, step on people to get there. Like, I want to be humble every day of my life and know that apart from Jesus, I can do nothing. And it's because of what I'm a part of is where my significance comes, and bringing people along with me, because whoever you're becoming and God's calling you to be, there's people behind you, there's people beside you, there's people in front of you, that life will be better if you're lived with them. And don't let the enemy lie to you and think you're in isolation. And then one other verse I love, it's also in 1 Corinthians 10, it says, but the point is not just to get by. We want to live well, but our foremost efforts should be to help others live well. And the concept of others first is not just being on this, even with the world and age of social media and getting followers and all this stuff, it's like we want to push our own agenda sometimes, or, I don't know, it's just this sticky situation where I want to stay humble. I want to stay in the word. I want to help others live well and not compare to what I see on that highlight reel, and just know every day I can lay my head to rest and know I've done what God's asked me to do today. I've loved my children. I've loved my husband. I've spent time in the word. I've spent time in his presence, and I'm becoming all who God wants me to be.
Oh, drop the mic. Oh my gosh. So good. Like, I needed to hear all of that today. That's incredible encouragement for all of us, no matter what season or step or stage or chapter on this becoming journey that we're on. I love that. Thank you for sharing, and thanks for sharing your story. So if someone wanted to connect with you, connect with Sisterhood Campaign, where could they find you online?
Instagram. I do love that. It's my favorite. It's at Kate Zick. So CaitZick. I'm not on Twitter. All my youth kids are like, why aren't you on Twitter? But that's Instagram, Facebook. I do have a blog. I don't write on nearly enough. It's Turn Up Truth.
Okay.
It's just the word God gave me is the truth is so foreign because the lies are so familiar. So we need to turn up the truth in our lives every day. But yeah, that's where you can find me. Good.
And for all of you watching, we'll have all the links in this post as well, so you can connect with Kate and the Kate Zick Zoo. I love it. Also, your Instagram stories are so fun. I literally love them. What is she up to?
Boys. Yeah.
But now you have a girl in the mix, so it's great. She is adorable too. Oh my goodness. Your family is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your story, who you are, who you're becoming, and the encouragement and just the gold that you gave us for our becoming journeys as well. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.